Hello students, welcome to Science Online Learning. Today we are going to learn about excretory system in our biology chapter 4. Yes. So what do you understand by the word excretion? Excretion is a process by which our body will give out the waste. Waste like carbon dioxide, water, excess salt, urea and other dead cells are given out by our body through a process called as excretory system, and many organs helps us in excretory system. So now we'll discuss about some of the organs which help in excretion. First, the most important organ which plays a major role in excretion is your kidneys, and kidneys give out the waste through urine, and this process is called as urination, and the system is called as urinary system or renal system. So in this lesson we'll be learning in detail about urinary system. So next important organ is your lungs. So lungs will give out the waste in form of carbon dioxide. So what happens in respiratory system? We all learned that inside the cell, cellular respiration takes place. So the byproduct of cellular respiration are carbon dioxide, water and energy. So this energy is used by the cells and the carbon dioxide is given out from the cells. So what happened to this carbon dioxide? The carbon dioxide is released in the blood vessels which combine with hemoglobin to form carbaminohemoglobin. So this hemoglobin carries the carbon dioxide from the cells of our body to our lungs where gas exchange happens. So which is the part in which gas exchange happens? Yes, very good children. It is in our alveoli where gas exchange happens. So the carbon dioxide from the hemoglobin will be released into the alveoli, whereas oxygen from the alveoli will move into the blood circulation. Again the hemoglobin will pick up that oxygen and it will distribute that oxygen to different part of our body. So this is the process of respiration that happens in our body. So in the lungs, so what will happen to the carbon dioxide in the alveoli of lungs? So this carbon dioxide is exhaled outside when you breathe out. So when you exhale, the gas which is coming out through your nose and your mouth is rich in carbon dioxide. So this is how lungs give out carbon dioxide. And next one is skin. So skin also take a part in excretion. So what does skin excrete? Yes, it excrete in the form of sweat. And you know children, the sweat is made up of urea, salt and lot of waste. So how this urea is produced? The urea is produced by the breakdown of amino acids. So when I tell amino acids, do you remember what is amino acids? Yes. So after digestion, the byproduct of digestion is amino acid, glucose and fatty acids. So the proteins are completely broken down into amino acids after digestion. So this amino acid is used by the body for our growth and development, and the remaining amino acids which are in excess are further broken down into compounds called as urea, and this urea is very harmful for our body. So this urea is excreted through the sweat by the skin. And you know, skin, it may look like a thin structure, but actually skin has got many layers. The outermost layer of the skin is called epidermis, and there are sweat glands inside the skin. So these sweat glands produce the sweat which consists of waste, salt and urea. So salt, water, urea and other wastes are excreted through sweat. So once the sweat is produced in the sweat gland, it is brought over the surface of the skin through duct. Okay, sweat duct carries the sweat from the sweat gland to the top of the skin, and there are very small openings in our skin called as pores through which the sweat is given out from our skin. And there is a thick layer of fat tissues below the surface of skin. So it is called as adipose tissue, and they are made up of cells called as adipose cells. So this fat plays a very important role in maintaining our body temperature because it keeps us warm. And the sweat also plays a major role not only in excretion but also in maintaining our body temperature, because heat is lost through sweat from our body. So what is the next organ which help in excretion? Is from this picture you could see that liver also help in excretion. So what happens here? So we have an organ called a spleen in our body. So what does this organ do? So dead RBC cells. So we know that RBC cells are called red blood cells. They are found in the blood. So these red blood cells contain a protein called as hemoglobin. So what will have to happen to this RBC cell? The lifespan of RBC cell is 120 days. So after 120 days, these cells will die. So as soon as these cells die, the dead cells are brought to a organ called as spleen. So in spleen, the useful part of our dead RBC cells are utilized by the body, and the waste part of dead RBC cell, they are passed to the liver. So in the liver, what happens? It combines with bile and it is excreted to the small intestine, from where it is excreted out through the feces. Liver and spleen play a major role in excreting the dead RBC cells from our body through feces. Next, we are going to learn about the urinary system. So what are the different parts of urinary system? As you all know, 2 kidneys, ureter, urinary bladder and urethra. And we also have renal vein and renal artery. So the renal artery supply the deoxygenated or dirty blood to the kidneys. So after filtration that happens in the kidney, the clean blood is carried by the renal vein. So we all know that arteries carry oxygenated, whereas vein carry deoxygenated blood. But the only exception is your renal artery and your renal vein. So here in renal artery, in case of renal artery, it carries deoxygenated blood to the kidneys, that is dirty blood, whereas the renal vein will carry the clean blood. So once the renal artery brings the dirty blood to the kidney, in kidneys we have got tiny filters, and these cells are called as nephrons, which filter the blood and it will send the clean blood out through the renal vein. But what will happen to the waste that stays in the nephron? So this waste is processed again and again. Many reactions happen inside the kidney, and finally urine is produced and it passes down through the urine to the urinary bladder through the ureters. So ureters are 2 long tubes which connect the kidney to the urinary bladder. Next, once the urine reaches the bladder, so once your bladder is at least half full, you will feel the sense or urge to pass urine out through an opening called as urethra. So this is all about your urinary system. So next we are going to learn about nephrons in detail. And what you're seeing in this picture is the structure of a nephron. So we call nephron as the structural and functional unit of the kidney. So it is in the nephron where the process of filtration happens and urine is formed in the nephron. So what we learned, the renal artery. So the arteriole is nothing but a branch from renal artery, carries the dirty blood to the nephron. So the cup-shaped structure in the nephron is called as Bowman's capsule. So the cup-shaped structure is called Bowman's capsule, and the arteriole which enters the Bowman's capsule will divide and subdivide into many fine branches. So these fine branches form a network of blood vessels and they are called as glomeruli. So glomeruli is nothing but a network of fine branches of, fine means very thin, okay, very thin branches of blood vessels or blood capillaries. So when dirty blood passes through the glomeruli, so filtration happens in the glomeruli. So that's why we call it as glomerulus filtrate. Waste products which are filtered out stays in the glomerulus, whereas the blood, that is the clean blood, will move out from the glomerulus through the branch of renal vein. And so the waste which is stayed in the glomerulus, they will move through a tubule called as renal tubule. So this renal tubule is divided into 3 parts. First one is proximal tubule. So it is written as proximal tubule. That is, it is near to the glomerulus. So we call it as proximal. Proximal means near. Okay, second one is loop of Henn. Okay, this loop of Henn is with capillary network. You could see lot of blood capillaries which are surrounding the loop of Henn. So loop of Henn is surrounded by capillaries, and the third tube is distal tubule. So distal, it is away from, distal means away from the glomerulus. So what are the, renal tube has three parts: proximal tubule or proximal convoluted tubule. Convoluted means it is all curved on, no, so that's why we call convoluted, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, and loop of Henn. Okay, and the next to the renal tubule is the collecting duct. So these collecting duct will collect the urine which is formed, and it will give out the urine through the ureters to the urinary bladder. And there are many millions of nephron cells in our kidney which regularly do this process, so that we are getting the urine at the regular time. Lastly, we are going to learn about some of the urinary disorders. So what are the common urinary disorders you have heard about? Yes, you must have heard about UTI, definitely, that is urinary tract infection. And next you may have learnt about or heard about urinary stones. Okay, stones in kidney is also one common problem. So some of the common problem of the kidneys or urinary system is, first is infection. So infection can occur at any part of the urinary system. Infection can occur at the kidneys, at the glomeruli can be infected, or your bladder or your urethra. So anywhere infection can occur. So infection is one problem. Renal stones in kidneys, or stones in bladder, or stones blocking the urethra, they are also common problems of renal urinary system. And some get kidney diseases from their parents. So hereditary or inherited reasons are also there for kidney disorders. And some of the other causes are people with prolonged hypertension. Hypertension is a problem where there is increased blood pressure. Okay, there is increased pressure of blood which is exerted on the walls of the blood vessels. So in this condition, due to continuous increase in pressure exerted by the blood on the walls of the blood vessels in the kidneys, it may even affect the kidneys and it cause some damage to the kidney. So hypertension is one reason for kidney disease to occur, and another reason is diabetes. Okay, diabetes is also very common in kidney disease. So people who are very having diabetes means high sugar level, they are also prone to get renal diseases or urinary disorders like UTI. Okay, so it is because of increased sugar level, they are very prone to get infections in their urinary tract, and usually the female are more likely to be affected by urinary infections than the male. Urinary infections are commonly caused by the bacteria and other microorganisms. So to summarize, in this chapter we have studied about the organs of excretory system, and we learnt about urinary system, the kidneys, and the parts of the urinary system, and then we have learnt about nephrons, the structure of nephron and function of nephron. We also discussed in short about urinary system, urinary disorders. So thank you students for watching this video till the end. Have a nice day.